At around lunchtime of the 6th of May 2024, 4 police officers were on duty in the area of Baclivey Road in Paisley, dealing with incidents which had affected members of the public living there. 2 officers got into their car intending to return to Paisley to continue with their duties. Their marked police vehicle stopped at the junction of Glasgow Road to give way to traffic. Thus far, this was an ordinary day for all of the police officers involved. What happened then was utterly out of the ordinary. You were driving a car which collided with the police vehicle. You got out of that vehicle, and having glanced at the collision and the damage to the police vehicle, you began to run away. Constable Gary Cowan managed to get out of his damaged vehicle to carry out his normal duties to investigate the road traffic accident and to speak to you. As soon as you saw him do that, you didn't continue to run away, but you returned to your car, opened the rear door, and from the rear of the car removed a chainsaw. You removed it from the bag in which it was contained. You removed the guardrail on the chain. You started it up and roared the engine of the chainsaw. As you did so, you shouted, in English, an abusive remark about the police. PC Cowan, on seeing and hearing this, was compelled to try and escape from you and ran off. You then sprinted after him, all the while roaring the engine of the chainsaw and holding it out in front of you, shouting abusive remarks about the police over and over. In the trial, PC Cowan explained to the jury that he was terrified and thought if he did not get away from you, you were going to chop off his limbs and that you were going to kill him. You chased this officer in this awful and terrifying way over some significant distance down the roadway of a busy public road. Much of this was recorded on CCTV or on mobile phones, and it was obvious that you were in hot pursuit, wielding a deadly weapon, with little apparent regard for anything or anyone else other than PC Cowan. The video evidence showed several cars and other vehicles having to slow or stop when it was obvious to the drivers that a man wielding a chainsaw was chasing a police officer. One member of the public described trying to persuade PC Cowan to enter his vehicle, as he put it, to save his life. Constable Cowan's colleagues who'd been in Baclivey Road and others were alerted by his emergency call for assistance and set off to Glasgow Road. The recorded images show you in pursuit of PC Cowan, but then turning when you become aware of the other officers, and you then moved in their direction, which understandably prompted them to retreat. As they did so, you returned your attention to PC Cowan and pursued him again. It was clear that the officers were trying to create a safe space around you for their own security and protection, and also for the protection of the public who were caught up in the middle of this violent scene. At some point, you gave up your attack upon PC Cowan and stopped running and put down the chainsaw, which was thrown out of your reach by another member of the public. You were then subdued and arrested by PC Cowan, and the officers who'd been initially present in Bucclivie Road, together with many others who arrived to assist one of their colleagues in such a dangerous situation. In considering many instances of violence over the years in Scotland, I have never encountered the use of a chainsaw as a weapon being wielded. Many might have thought that this was the stuff only of horror films. To the social worker who interviewed you, there was some suggestion of remorse. But in the context of you having been badly treated by the police, and the claim it was the police who pushed you to be angry, but there is no context or justification for that, nor any possibility of that having included PC Cowan. On your behalf today, counsel properly suggested that you were stressed and anxious about your immigration status and conflated all authorities in connection with that to include the police. Your actions were so gross and so violent that the punishment must be significant. It is clear that at whatever point the thought entered your mind, you were, by the stage you were running in the street, intent upon causing catastrophic harm. The court must have regard to the public service provided by police officers who daily put themselves in positions of danger, even if they have no warning that such a situation will arise. I'm satisfied that for all of the reasons I have sought to explain, I must impose upon you a very significant penalty. And accordingly, I impose upon you a sentence of 10 years imprisonment